my friends, we have so much to talk about. As I'm sure you're aware, media outlets released a flood of new Destiny 2 gameplay and info, hours upon hours of brand new footage from the European Dead Zone, Bungie's largest ever in-game destination. We got to see public events, new exotics, new vendors, new loot, new materials, new engrams, the list goes on. In short, a hell of a lot of brand new content, some of which wasn't even meant to be revealed, the third subclass for Warlock, Hunter and Titan, and yes, we'll be looking at this too. I've scoured hours of gameplay, handpicked all the tastiest info and compiled it for your viewing pleasure right here in this video. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about, you and I, so sit back, grab a delicious snack and feast your eyes on this lot. First up, we're going to talk about public events, which have been greatly improved in Destiny 2. Public events are now bigger, more dynamic, and well, simply put, more interesting than before. Each public event we're going to look at has a unique gameplay mechanic and a cheeky little trick up its sleeve. You see, each public event has the potential to become heroic, and you'll need to experiment to figure out what triggers the heroic version of each public event. It's worth finding this out because successfully completing a heroic public event gets you more loot, and we all love more loot. So then, let's look at 3 examples. Now, the first public event we're going to look at involves having to expel extraction crews. Pretty straightforward really, but in order to trigger the heroic version, you need to destroy all the extractors. Those are the metal objects surrounding the extractor beam, and as you can see, this Striker Titan is doing a pretty good job. Now, another thing veteran Destiny players may also notice is that this Titan is using an old exotic from Destiny 1, Hardlight, an exotic auto rifle with bullets that bounce off surfaces, but in Destiny 2 it now deals void damage. Now, as you can see, with all the extractors destroyed, the heroic public event has been triggered and a new objective is given. Guard the Glimmer Pile until Transmat completes. In other words, defend this point from incoming waves of enemies. Next up, a public event that involves overriding a Cabal mining lander. However, if you want to trigger the heroic version of this event, you'll need to take out this flying robo douche. It's actually called a Thresher, and as you're about to see, once this has been taken out, the heroic public event will be triggered and your objective will also change. Now you have to eliminate the Excavation Vallus. Now that's this giant yellow bar enemy that you see here, a big old bullet sponge that you'll need help taking down. But like I said, do this and you'll get more loot. So as you're about to see, you get a legendary engram and blue loot from the downed heroic public event boss, plus a ton of loot from the chest and some unique dialogue too. So yeah, definitely worth trying to complete the heroic version of public events. Next up, this monstrosity. It's a Cabal injection rig. Now, some public events will have gameplay mechanics that you'd expect to see in a Nightfall Strike boss. This is one of them. Now, to trigger the heroic version of this public event, you need to take out all the glowing vents. Thing is, they only open at certain intervals, so you'll need to get your shots in while you can. And well, it gets worse. Now, at one point during this public event, the injection rig will cast a big orange dome around itself. If you're inside the dome when the vents open, you take damage, but the only way to shoot the vents is to be inside the dome. So you're going to have to juggle taking damage and dealing damage. Not the easiest thing to do, especially when you're also taking on waves of enemies. So yeah, like I said, public events are far more sophisticated and a little trickier than their Destiny 1 counterparts, and far more varied too. But fret not, dear Guardians, if you don't successfully complete a heroic public event or even a normal public event within the time limit, you still get loot. You just get a hell of a lot less of it. As you can see, just the 1 EDZ token. So you better buck your ideas up, Malado. And here's a useful bit of advice. If you want to level up fast, complete public events. You get a nice big XP boost, and every time you do level up, you also get a bright engram that contains items for customizing your Guardian. Visit Tess Everett to decode these engrams. And guys, check this out. It's a brand new respawn animation. Veteran Destiny players will know exactly what this is. Now, if we freeze frame here, we see it's the Jade Rabbit emblem from Destiny 1, which could mean that we'll get to see another weapon with the Jade Rabbit logo emblazoned on it, like the exotic Jade Rabbit Scout Rifle. Now, I've got to say, I adore this new respawn animation. And now for a bit of speculation. Could these new respawn animations be the kind of customization loot that you get from the bright engrams we just talked about? And how many different kinds of respawn animations are there? Well, here's another one for you. It's got a spooky Taken vibe to it. So then, how do you guys think we'll get these respawn animations? Leave a comment below and let me know. Next up, we're going to look at the gameplay that confirms a third subclass is coming to Destiny 2. As you can see, this Lost Region chest dropped a hunter relic called the Fractured Arrow. Sorrow, an artifact filled with lost power, no doubt part of a quest to unlock your Night Stalker subclass. Next up, a regional loot chest that drops a Warlock relic called the Cracked Talisman, again another artifact filled with power and most likely the initial stage of a quest to regain your Stormcaller subclass. And if you needed more proof, well, check this out. Under your Milestones tab, which shows all your available activities, there's a quest called Arc Light Stirring, which will unlock a new subclass, in this case the Warlock Stormcaller subclass. Its description reads, rekindle your lost abilities by defeating enemies and fighting alongside fellow guardians in public events. And to complete the trilogy, we have a Titan relic called the Melted Hammer. Now this guardian seems to be at a later stage in his quest to unlock his Sunbreaker subclass. At the bottom, it reads Growing Strength. Your lost strength is returning to you. Return to the Shard in the European Dead Zone and restore your light. So yeah, pretty conclusive evidence that the Night Stalker, Stormcaller and Sunbreaker subclasses are all returning to Destiny 2, meaning that each guardian will have 3 subclasses each to choose from. Next up, we're going to look at Dusklight shards, new materials that you'll find randomly scattered about Destiny 2's destinations. So then, what do these intriguing new materials actually do? Well, much like EDZ tokens, Dusklight shards can be handed to Devrim K in exchange for XP. Level up and you get an EDZ engram. And check this out, you can inspect EDZ engrams to see what kind of loot they contain. Each one will reward you with 1 faction item as well as faction shaders and 1 additional reward. And here's a weapon that really caught my attention. It's a new legendary solar sword called Negative Space. You can uppercut with it, and here are a few of its other perks. Sword Guard has low efficiency and high defense, and consecutive sword strikes increase this weapon's damage output. So let's have a look at some sword gameplay. Yes, why not? So then, this yellow bar enemy is a high value target. They appear randomly throughout Destiny's destinations. Defeat them and they immediately drop a chest. In this case, the loot contained within is an EDZ token. As you just saw, the sword made short work of him. And here's a little more sword action. Now, I adore melee weapons. Dark Trinket was my favourite weapon from Destiny 1, and we know from various trailers that Destiny 2 will have a whole variety of new swords to earn. So yes, something I'm definitely looking forward to. Next up, challenges. Now, when you pull up your Ghost, you'll see a list of challenges that are available to you. This new addition is replacing bounties. Bungie thought bounty management was an unwelcome pain, so they got rid of them in favour of challenges that automatically tell you what things you can complete in the area you're in. It's actually quite a nice addition to the game, I like it. Next up, we're going to look at the new exotic pulse rifle, Graviton Lance. Its exotic perk is called Black Hole, which means that the third shot in every burst does high damage. The secondary perk means that any enemy you take out detonates, bursting into a rather satisfying shower of purple sparks. It also deals void damage. Now, this is a pretty sweet looking weapon and definitely something I'll be wanting to add to my arsenal early on in the game. And as you can see, yes, the Taken are back. Oh dear. Next up, Bungie released a brand new Commander Zavala teaser trailer. Watch it and we'll speak again after.
Let's get serious, people. I'm en route. If we attack together, we can take back our home, or we die trying. Indeed.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, it took me a pretty long time to go through all this gameplay and pick out the parts I thought you'd find interesting. If you like these longer, more detailed breakdown videos, show MoreConsole some love and give this video a cheeky thumbs up. It really does help this channel out and lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content, so thank you. Your feedback is always appreciated. And guys, I've got some really cool unboxing videos lined up for you, not to mention heaps more Destiny 2 content. So if that sounds like something you'd like to watch, subscribe, turn on notifications, and that way you will not miss a single thing. And guys, while I have you here, I'd just like to announce my recent sponsorship with Razer. Now, you've probably noticed that I don't do much sponsored content on this channel. I've been offered a lot of stuff over my 4 years of making content, but I pretty much turned all of it down because it didn't really fit this channel, and I want you guys to enjoy my content without pestering you with sponsored content. So I want you guys to know that when I do accept a sponsored deal, it's because I really believe in the product, the people, and that I actually myself can add some value to the product. So yeah, over the next 12 months, you'll be seeing some exciting things on this channel with Razer, but don't worry, it will never get in the way of your Destiny content, but it will mean that I get to do some really cool giveaways for you guys, so stay tuned for that. And guys, one more thing before before I go, if you'd like to see some exclusive Destiny 2 gameplay that really shows off the sights and sounds of the European Dead Zone, I'd recommend watching this video. It's well worth checking out. So yeah, thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for heaps more Destiny 2 content, and thank you so much for watching, and as always, until next time, Guardians.